this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
How's everyone doing tonight? Woo! It's Wednesday. It's 6 o'clock somewhere. With
John
ready in his chair. And almost 10 whole people watching from home. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? It's time for the ThinkSoJoE Show!
Yes, it is. It is time. Whether Laura likes it or not, it is time for the ThinkSoJoE Show. I would put it off for an hour, but you know we've got a guest in a half an hour.
Yes.
So
Yes, we do.
Mr. Rick Horton of the Metal Onslaught is going to be on the show today, and he's going to be talking about the metal. Let me get this right here. Apparently, I didn't put the name of the show, but he's going to be talking about this show going on at the F&A Rhythm and Booze, 3 South Virginia Street in Waterloo, with bands like the Burned Out Sons, Tyranitar, Cactus Cathedral, Ancient Crown, Floodlands, Haitian, Burnt Sun, Turbo Beast, and Patchwork Down. And that's 2 p.m. on Saturday, 21 and up after 9 p.m., and $10 at the door for all those bands. $10, man.
Wow.
$10. Man, we're playing stuff that's $10 and it's like 3 bands. I mean, we're not, but, you know, it's theoretically possible.
Yes.
We did play last week.
Yes, we had a couple of busy days last week.
Oh, man.
I don't know if I want to get into it.
So we podcasted Wednesday.
Yes.
We did band practice Thursday
Yes.
instead of our usual Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
We did a show Friday night.
Yes, we did.
For Karina, who said she enjoyed all the covers, all the covers, including the one we did at the end of the set, just for her. And then we dropped stuff off, came back here, showered, and flew to Nashville.
Yeah, it was fun.
Dude, it was so worth it. It was so worth it.
It sucked that we didn't sleep that much, but
No, but it was so worth it. I mean, I'm sure you probably did. You get home and go right to sleep from after you dropped me off?
I hit the pillow. I was knocked out.
Yeah, dude. The same with me. As soon as you I got your text that you got home, and I'm just yeah.
I got the text and I died.
I was out, man. Just yeah.
I tell nobody knock on my door. I won't answer.
Yeah, you're dropping me off, and my neighbor is like, "Hey, I could come fix that leak for you today." I'm like, no.
No.
Maybe try me in a week. But yeah, no, so we did a lot over the weekend, and then we were still back at band practice on Tuesday.
Yes.
So with our new bass player.
Yes.
So
Another Joe.
yeah.
2 Joes in the band now.
It's bowling FOH. What? Bowling for something. Yes,
Bowling for soup.
Was that 1994? 1994. They just celebrated their 28th anniversary.
Yeah,
28th.
28th, yeah.
28th. 28 years of apparently just going on stage and babbling for an hour in between 5
I still love
songs.
them though.
That was a yeah. Anyway, but yeah. I mean, it was a good weekend. Exhausting,
Yes.
but good. Worth
weekend.
it. Well worth it.
It was worth it.
We got to see the Johnny Cash Museum. That was cool.
Yeah, we did. It was banging on the freaking in the strip.
Oh man, yeah.
Oh my God. We Leland told Joe we had to try the chicken.
Yeah, so we're at the show on Friday, and I'm outside. I'm talking to Karina's mom actually, and Leland comes out, and I'm talking about we're going to Nashville. Leland's, you're getting the chicken, right? I don't know what I'm like. What the fuck are you talking about getting the chicken? I'm not making the connection. And he's like, in Nashville, the hot chicken. You're getting the hot chicken. I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, everybody's saying we need to get the hot chicken because Ryan was saying we needed to try the hot chicken, because that's like what Nashville's famous food is, right? So so Leland's like, yeah, you got to try this place called Party Fowl. I go there every time I'm in Nashville. I love it, man. It's great. They got great hot chicken. Like, all right, cool. So we get to the airport, and I punch in the address for, so there's a Party Fowl in the airport, but we go there, and they're like, yeah, we're only serving drinks for like the next hour. So it's like, oh, okay then.
But I see a family in there
Eating chicken. Yeah, I saw that. So it's like, okay, if you're only serving, maybe they were out and they were getting more and they were making more, but they weren't serving. Apparently, is what they told us at the door. So we're like, all right, let's find one near Nissan Stadium. So we go and we look up. I look up Party Fowl near Nissan Stadium. Find one, punch in the address in Lyft, and the Lyft driver comes gets us. And the Lyft driver is a pop artist. He sings, he does pop music.
I don't listen to pop music, but it was pretty dope.
It was good, man. I listened to his stuff after I got home because I didn't end up putting it on the airplane like I was intending to do, but I put it on when I got home, and good stuff. But he also put our stuff on in the car, so he was listening to Living Brain Dead, and we were listening to him, we get to talking to him. I'm like, yeah, my buddy says, we got to go to this place called Party Fowl. He says, no, man, that's the worst. You don't want to go there. He's like, you want to go to this place called Prince's. It's the original. It is the original. You got these other places like Party Fowl. They're owned by white dudes who they put on a front that they're black owned, but they're not. So you got to go to Prince's. It's the original. It's black owned. That's the place to go. And I said, how far is it from where we're going? Because we punched in for Party Fowl. He said, listen, man, change your destination in the app. Change it to this, there's like this big food, just this complex that is just all food and music. So it's like, you got to put in this place. So we put in that place. He's like, all right, here's what's going on. I'm going to drop you off at the back door. This is how you get to Prince's from here. And then to get to the stadium from here, here's how you get to the stadium. You just walk. You could Uber there, but it'd probably be easier to just walk. So just, here's how you get there. So this dude really hooked us up, went above and beyond, to make sure we're getting authentic Nashville hot chicken, because I mean,
was good.
Because you figure if this guy's coming up to Buffalo and somebody tells him, oh, dude, you got to go to fucking Wild Wings or something, and if you were driving him, you would be like, nah, man, you got to go to Duff's or Anchor Bar or
Duff's.
something. Yeah, you can't go, no, don't go there, go here. So it's like, man, I'm going to trust the dude from Nashville over the dude from Buffalo who has visited Nashville. So yeah, he got us there, and the chicken was really good.
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
Very hot, spicy, but good.
And then the place is right across the street from Bridgestone Arena where the Preds play. And also, I didn't realize this until after the fact, the place is also right across the street from the historic Ryman Auditorium, the Grand Ole Opry. Holy shit, man. If I would have realized that when we got there, I would have been like, yo, let's get the tour of the fucking Ryman Theater. If they were doing one, because Turnpike Troubadours were playing there that night. We come to find out from a dude from Austin, Texas, who was in town for that show. But no, I absolutely do not recommend Wild Wings. Anyway, but yeah, he gave us directions to the stadium and everything, and that just took us right up Broadway, right down the strip. So we heard all the different bands playing all the different types of music, and then you take a right on 3rd Avenue and you pass the Johnny Cash Museum, which was we were talking about going there anyway. So it's like, oh, look, this is convenient. We can stop here. Let's go. So we went and you had to dump out your Coke or throw out your bottle. So I'm like, all right, I'll pay for this while you do that. So, but we got to go in, we get to hang out and see all this great Johnny Cash memorabilia, and it was cool, man. It was a good experience. Yeah. And then right from there is this pedestrian bridge that is this steep incline. and then a steep decline. So you're basically, you go uphill both ways. But that takes you right to Nissan Stadium, and so that was pretty cool. It took us a minute to find our seats.
It did.
But
We got there.
we got there, and then the sun was out.
Oh yeah, that was brutal.
So like I post on Facebook, on Twitter rather, a picture of all the tarped off seats on the other side of the stadium. I've been to many WWE stadium events, and I've never seen that many seats like tarped off. So it's like, I made some stupid comment making fun of people on the internet, because people on the internet are like, oh look, half the building's tarped off at this AEW show. Like, yeah, WWE does the same shit. And I'm still, like, as of yesterday, getting hate tweets about that tweet. but you know, somebody was like, you know, could you imagine you're sitting on the other side of the stadium in like the 300 level, and you're looking across at all these 100 level seats that you could have bought, but they're not open. And I said, I'll tell you what, man, I'm sitting in the 200 level and I'm looking across at these tarped off seats thinking, man, those are out of the sun. we could have been sitting there and been in the shade and not like being burnt to death in the sun.
Felt like it was like 100 degrees outside.
It was warm that day.
Yeah.
It was cloudy for the most part.
Then when the sun went down, it felt great.
Oh yeah.
But they had to turn on frickin' lights and blind us to death.
WWE is notorious for that at
We're all
these big
chanting,
stadium events.
turn off the lights.
WWE's notorious for that at these big stadium events, like SummerSlam in particular, where they will have just a bright ass light shining right in the audience's face.
Yeah.
Like to a point where the audience will chant, turn the lights off, and start sending angry tweets and whatever. So you know, it was, you know, I think they dimmed it a little bit because I was able to see better after a couple of matches, but or maybe I just got used to it. I don't know. But yeah, it was a, you know, it was a good experience overall. We had good people in our section.
Oh yeah, I made some friends.
Yeah, nice people in our section. Really cool to hang out with. Even the little kids were fucking cool.
Oh yeah, she couldn't see Edge coming out of the one little girl couldn't see Edge coming out of the ramp, so I took a video from my phone of Edge coming out so she could see. So look at my phone. It's like.
I didn't even know you did that until you told me yesterday.
Yeah,
that's like that's so nice of you to do that for that kid. Like,
sure.
like yeah, man. Like everybody in our section was just really cool. And then you see like Brock Lesnar lift the ring with a fucking forklift. Like, what the fuck?
I was like, I'm just glad I'm not down there.
Yeah. I don't know.
Out of the way.
I saw a meme where it was like, imagine paying for front row seats and all you can see is the bottom of the ring. It's like, yeah, that kind of would have sucked. If you were sitting like front row and you're just looking at like the underneath of the ring after Brock Lesnar lifted it with a fucking tractor.
Somebody lifted the ring. Somebody was actually under there, like porn struggle or. It's like. So we go back to the airport. Well, we go back to the food place right after. Yeah.
Because like I figured that was probably going to be the quietest place to pee. Because I can't do public restrooms really well. So it's like, all right, let's go back to the food place and then see how I feel after I use the bathroom. And then it was like, all right, you want to go back to the strip? You want to sit here, watch this band? What do you want to do? We sat there, we watched this band play until, like, they played until midnight. We got some more food. And we called for a lift, but, like, I forgot where I was going with that story. Oh, so we do all that, and then we finally call for a lift. We go back to the airport. Figure, we'll crash we'll find a seat at the airport, and we'll just crash for a couple hours. Which all the seats were taken by the time we got there. So we found a nice little spot on the floor, and I'm starting to doze off, and John goes, "Dude, that's Jimmy Hart." And so so I wake up. I'm like, "Holy shit, that is Jimmy Hart! You want to go get a picture? Let's go."
I don't really want to bug him. Like
and I'm the same way. I am always like, I don't want to bug celebrities. Like I told you the story about like Jimmy Snuka being at my work, and I didn't come over to talk to him because it was like he's just trying to fucking have some drinks. But like, you know, he's just waiting for his boarding pass. He's probably just standing there bored. So it's like, so you know, and you gotta approach him respectfully. So I go up to him, hey, Mr. Hart, would it be okay if we got a picture with you? I know it's like 3 a.m. Oh yeah, come on over.
Nicest guy you ever
Oh man,
meet.
he wanted. I swear, like if we weren't trying to be like super respectful and like give him his time and space, like he would have sat there and talked to us till the fucking gates till the gates opened. Like he was literally just like, oh, what'd you guys think of the main event? What'd you think? How'd you, Becky Lynch? They turned her, and people like her, so I think that's a good thing. He's just like having a great conversation with us, telling us he's going to go sign some autographs in Pennsylvania and.
Great guy.
Really, I got to tell him the story that my ex-wife was sick of about when I went to my first WWF show and we were sitting front row, and somebody stole the glasses off his head and put them on my aunt's chair, and he like completely stayed in character, yelling at security, "She stole my glasses, baby! She stole my glasses!"
He's pretty good.
And it was he was very cool. So. You never know what to expect from a guy you bump into at 2:30 in the morning in the airport, but he was nice. He was just trying to beat the rush out of there, So
Yes, Becky is back, but she's gone now.
yeah, she was back for like a year, and now she's gone again.
Yeah, she popped her shoulder out.
Yeah. Well, since the video audio, Laura hasn't watched since the Thunderdome.
Oh.
I don't blame you. The Thunderdome was.
It's getting better. You should watch it now.
I'll tell you what. I mean, like, the Thunderdome
wasn't my favorite.
It wasn't my favorite, but it was a lot better than like the Performance Center, like the first few weeks, like before they started having the wrestlers in there as fans. Like those empty Performance Center shows, just awful. Like so hard to watch. But the Thunderdome kind of felt more normal than like those empty Performance Center shows. But once live fans returned, it's like, this is so much better. And
the Triple H is
and now Vince McMahon is gone, and Triple H is running running creative, running talent relations. And the very first thing that happens at SummerSlam is Bianca Belair beats Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch turns face, and Dakota Kai and Io Shirai come back. Io Sky, excuse me.
Io Sky.
Got to change those names. Come back with Bayley, and it's like, oh, okay.
That's going down.
It's like Dakota Kai don't even fucking work here. What the hell? All right, cool.
Becky comes back and helps out.
So it was a fun show. It was even more fun because I kept making you think that Theory was going to walk out with the Universal title.
Don't even say his name in my presence. I hate that guy. I want to punch him in his face.
You got those last couple of matches because you had the Usos and the Street Profits.
Yeah, you're bugging me. He's gonna come out. He's gonna come out in the main event. And then his music hits.
What time I gotta tell Rick that we'll call him right after the first song break. Let me see, because he just messaged me. Let's see. We'll call you right after the first song break. So like 6:33-ish. That way we're not interrupting the song break with a phone call. Anyway. But yeah. No, it was a pretty good show. I mean, there was rumors swirling that something was going to happen to the ring because like they didn't have all the LED, panels all over the ring. So they were like, something's going to happen. And then the little girl that you were showing Edge on your phone, she told me, she's like, I just saw them loosening the ring over there. So, John, what was your arena seat made out of?
Plastic?
I guess. I don't know. Our thing
Ding.
isn't working to put a. That's working. No, the thing to put the thing up on the thing isn't working. So on the screen here. See if we can fix that too. Connect. See if we can fix that. Sometimes that doesn't work. I don't know why. We're going to have in the second segment here, we're going to have Mr. Rick Horton. He's going to be talking about this upcoming show in Waterloo this weekend. She wants to know what type of plastic she needs to know. I don't know, man. I wasn't paying any attention to what the seats were. I was just like, you know what I liked was like you get the souvenir cup, right, from the concession stand, and then there's a Coke machine right up at the top of the stairs from our section, and you could go get free refills. You just go get them yourself. You don't even got to wait in line.
That's cool.
I like that.
But she wants you to be specific. She always wants you to be
don't.
specific about my answers.
It's Laura. Who knows? Anyway, but yeah, I liked that. That was cool because I went and got drinks, and then it was like, wait, I could just go over here. Here's the thing about Nashville, though. Nashville is one of those towns where every drink is Coke. If you ask for a Coke,
Don't do it.
if you ask for a Coke, what kind of Coke? And by that, like, do you want a root beer Coke? Do you want a Dr. Pepper Coke? It's all Coke. So I went to go get the drinks at SummerSlam, and I said, yeah, let me get 2 souvenir Cokes. And she goes, what kind of Cokes? I said, that's right, I'm in Nashville. Coca-Cola, please. Because I didn't see Pepsi anywhere on that trip, except like the airports. And not even like the Nashville, like the Buffalo airport had Pepsi. I didn't see any in the it was all Coke products in the Nashville airport and the Chicago airport. We weren't even at the good Chicago airport, man. We weren't at O'Hare. We were at fucking Midway.
Midway. For 5 hours.
Ah, fuck, that sucked.
5 hours.
5 hours and $400 later, we're on the way to Nashville.
We did get to sleep for that, though, when we were stuck there.
We did. We got a little nap. That was nice. I'll tell you what, man. After that flight from Chicago to Nashville, I was like refreshed, ready to go,
Then we got on the plane to go to Nashville. We both passed out at different times. You missed you missed the drinks. I missed the snacks because I was
That's
knocked
right.
out.
We weren't like seated anywhere near each other on like our first 2 flights.
Yeah, so I passed out during snack time. He passed out during drink time.
So I got my snacks. I didn't get a drink with my snacks though.
I made sure I stayed up the next flight. Oh, my snack, my drink.
John's like Clockwork Orange style. He's got his eyes. I'm getting these snacks.
Exactly.
Oh man, no, I felt so refreshed after that flight from Chicago to Nashville.
Oh, yeah.
I was like ready to tackle Music City, man. Like, let's go.
We were at Summers and we were like, why were you not tired?
Like, let's go. I think I was like kind of nodding off a little bit before the show actually started.
Oh, and then I was hiding behind you.
Oh fuck, the bee. So John is terrified of spiders
And bees.
and spiders don't bother me.
Spiders, bees, snakes.
I am terrified of bees, and there's a bee, and John is hiding behind me. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Use you as a shield. Sacrifice, buddy. Sacrifice.
I'm just standing there trying to be calm. Like, fuck this bee, fuck this bee, fuck this bee. I was telling you when we were going to practice yesterday, I was telling you about WCW Nitro for PlayStation and the beehive level.
That's stupid.
The beehive arena where there's
That's
bees and shit
stupid.
flying around, giant bees, and it's buzzing. And I literally bought that game right after I told you about that. I bought like 3 wrestling games for PlayStation right while we were in the car yesterday.
Did you buy the actual game again?
I did. I bought Nitro. I bought WCW versus the World, and I bought ECW Hardcore Revolution. And there was like a board game because it was like buy 3 get 1 free.
WCW, what were you thinking making that? What kind of drugs that you were on? Tell me.
Man, yeah,
I need to know.
I don't know why, and I played it once, and I was like, no, I'm done with this one.
John looks so...
You look betrayed. I don't,
Like betrayed?
betrayed over what? Which part?
Tell me.
So snakes too, huh?
Yes.
I
I had a snake in my hand.
Oh, when I bought
once.
the game, you looked betrayed because I bought WCW Nitro for PlayStation. I was showing you like video from that game, like all the fucking wrestler rants and shit.
Yeah. I did date this one girl. She had pet snakes.
Okay.
And she put the snake in my hand and was looking at me. I just don't like snakes. I just thought it's going to bite me. It just feel weird. I'm afraid of snakes, spiders, and bees. That's it. I could kill a spider. I'll kill him. But if he's on me, I'm like
You
a little
literally
girl.
you killed my buddy that was living in the bathroom.
Oh, he came down. He was ready to die. He was ready to die. I said, bring it on. That was it. I killed him before we went to the airport.
He lives on the ceiling, and then I would see him occasionally. And I'd be like, "Yo, stay up there, and we're cool."
No, we didn't want to stay up there for me. He came down. I took my shoe, and that was it.
He was like, "Hey, man, you don't live here. What are you doing in my shower?"
That's what I was doing. It's like, well, I live here now for a minute.
Yeah, I can't do bees, man. Bees terrify me. The spider could smell your fear.
It did.
Yeah, bees have always terrified me.
Bees, yeah. Bees are on me. Spider snakes, I'm going to scream like a little girl.
Dude, I was outside the one night. And
I'll kill them.
I'm outside the one night, and I'm like trying to go back in the house, and there's a bee.
I'm sorry, Laura.
There's a bee like an inch away from my screen door handle, and I'm just like...
Dropped you off like I told you.
Yeah.
After I was going home, we were driving in my car the whole entire time with the spider bigger than my fist. It was huge. It was coming in. I had to pull over, get out the third way, had to kill it right there. That was it. I'm not going to get in an accident because I didn't know that thing was in my car. Yeah, I mean, it's been sitting in my driveway and I haven't been driving it.
Right.
And
By the way, no crutches.
I'm healed. I can walk.
John's at band practice last night. He's like, yeah, I'm not doing the double kick for a while. He's double kicking. I'm like, so how's your foot feel?
Not good. It's still sore. I'm still trying to get used to walking on it. But yeah, it didn't feel too good.
I got drums now. I'm learning. I'm going to teach myself how to play drums.
You got drums.
Yeah. Oh, now it could totally be like Wayne's World. You get the drumsticks, I get the guitars. We're like going through the airport, and you're like, man, it's too bad we don't have $5,000. We got $5,000. We got $5,000. Oh, man.
It sucks we're not going to go see Alice Cooper.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We got to see, we got, like, that band that was,
Smith.
I'll tell you what, man, that band that was playing at that food joint, they were
good.
They were fucking phenomenal.
They were playing what was it?
Like all the funk songs, man.
Yeah.
They were bringing,
Stevie Wonder,
yeah,
Prince,
Yeah.
Purple Rain.
yeah. They brought the funk, man. The band that was playing earlier, I don't know if it was the same band or a different band or whatever, but like the band that was playing earlier was playing like Uptown Funk. It was playing all kinds of,
Drumsticks. Oh no.
But yeah, man, like like just walking up Broadway, it's like every single bar you pass, there's a band playing.
Every bar. If punk rock, country.
I think we heard like
Country band doing Blink-182, all the small things.
I would say we heard a couple of different versions of all the small things
Yeah.
from Blink-182. Yeah. And then like every other bar is owned by a fucking musician.
They're selling,
And there's one owned by Kid Rock.
they're selling weed on the street, man.
Yeah, the fucking little dispensary cart. They got a couple of fucking couple of carts of like dispensary carts. You can just buy weed right on the streets. That's cool. But yeah, no, dude, we're definitely going back to Nashville.
We're playing.
Yeah, playing or
See
not, we're
us.
going back to Nashville.
We're going back to Nashville either way. But
I'm
should
literally
play.
like, I need to look at the Sabres schedule and figure out when I'm going to Nashville to see the Sabres play at Bridgestone. Like, I used to probably helps the local food joints too. The weed dispensary carts on the streets there. I'll tell you what, man. We're gonna get to a song break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna talk to Rick Horton of the Metal Onslaught about this upcoming show he's got going on this Saturday. And right now we're gonna play a song from a band called Anchor, who are playing with the random guy in the back this weekend. He is so it's Sunday at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street in Buffalo. The Stolen with Range Life, Quit Yourself, Wasted Reject, and this band, they're called Anchor on all WNY Think So Joe Show.
Things could be better than fine. I could be writing songs about my life and all the things that we've become. It could be happier than this one, happier than this one. I'm tired of waiting for you, tired of wasting all my time. This could all be different. Things could be better than fine. Writing songs about my life and all the things that we've become. It could be happier than this one, happier than this one. What I don't wanna do. I don't wanna talk. I hope the poison takes effect before I have to explain myself. I don't wanna talk. I hope the poison takes effect before I have to explain myself.
That was Anchor, and that song called Distancing on all WNY Think So Joe Show. You can catch them this Sunday at Mohawk Place, opening up for The Stolen, along with Range Life, Quit Yourself, and Wasted Reject. Doors at 6:30. It's 18 and up, $12 pre-sale, $15 day of show. And again, that's at Mohawk Place, 47 East Mohawk Street in Buffalo, New York. We're going to give a call out to Mr. Rick Horton right now. Let's See if we can get Rick on the line. Yeah, it's Skype music's funky, man. Hello, Rick. I think he answered. It says his mic is not, says his mic is muted. So he's the fun part. Rick, if you can hear me, man, your mic appears to be muted. There it goes. Yeah, that's what we were just saying. So, all right, get you some more volume on our end here, and there we go. Okay, so you got a big show coming up this Saturday.
2019, I did one of these at Don Solier's in Clyde, New York, and that was the a place that we had done Finger Lakes Metal Fest at for so long. And well, Finger Lakes Metal Fest, it's still around. I'm not a part of it, but it's still around. But somebody else runs that building, and they're not keen on metal shows, so. It's been a process to get this to where I have it right now, but regardless, it's happening, and I'm happy as hell that it's happening.
So the show is happening at F&A's Rhythm and Booze, 3 South Virginia Street in Waterloo. You got quite a few bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Was that 10 bands?
Yeah, 10 bands.
Okay, 10 bands, and it's $10, which is an incredible value.
Yeah, $1 a band.
Yeah.
And honestly, this lineup is worth more than that. But if this price helps get heads in the door, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
We've got a ton of great talent in this local community of ours, right? Everywhere from Buffalo and Syracuse and in between, so and I actually have somebody from Long Island playing at this one as well. Monochromatic Black,
which is actually the band we're playing on the show. So this is a rare instance of us not playing a Western New York band. So
yeah, they're from Long Island. I've seen them 3 times. They played one of my shows, again, 2019. I did a Halloween show at Montage Music Hall, and they were one of the bands that was on it. And extremely cool people. Glad that I was able to bring them back and have them on this. And the lineup goes like this for Saturday. How the order of the bands, how they're playing. Patchwork Down, who are like Ithaca, Watkins Glen. 3/4 of that band used to be a band called Ironclad. And actually before that, they were a band called Patchwork Down. So Patchwork Down kind of, made its way back. Then we have Turbo Beast, who I want to say are either out of Elmira or Binghamton. Crossover thrash metal. And I haven't seen this band before, so I'm looking forward to watching them. There's bands I know on this, and there's bands I haven't worked with before on this, so it's very interesting. Then I have Burnt Sun, who are a stoner rock doom band from out of Rochester, New York. The drummer from that band is also in Fox 45, who are out of Rochester. Then I have Heischen, who are a fairly new band out of Rochester that do prog metal like Tool. After them, I have Floodlands, who are a sludge metal band out of Binghamton area. Then I have Ancient Crown, who are from Oswego. Cactus Cathedral, another stoner rock band. I've worked with these guys before A few of these bands I've worked with before. Floodlands and Ancient Crown have been on previous shows of mine as well. And then Monochromatic Black, after Cactus Cathedral, who are a progressive deathcore band. Then I have Tyrannitar, who are a Viking metal band out of Rochester. And then the Burned Out Sons are actually from Seneca Falls, Waterloo area. And they're kind of like one of those bands like Dreadnecks that's hard to describe.
Okay.
So, like it could be like a cross between punk and grunge rock, and then like it could be like Beatles and Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
So it kind of goes all over, but it's good that it goes all over.
So you have two bands. You have a band called Burnt Sun, and then you have a
Yep.
band called the Burned Out Sons.
Yes, but they're not playing back to back. Thankfully, that would be confusing.
That's what we were just saying. Like that
Yeah.
would be like us being on a band with on a bill with a band called like the Living Dead or something.
Yeah, yeah. I want to say there's one that's called Living Dead Girl that's reminds me of the Rob Zombie song.
Right.
But yeah, I did one of these in 2019 at Don Solier's, and obviously the pandemic happened and put a damper on things. And
Sure.
the last couple of years it was kind of iffy on whether I should try and do one or not. So this year we finally got back around to doing it, and it was a process. It was originally going to be, I tried for Don Solier's, but the people who run that now, again, weren't keen on really having metal shows there. So that is what it is. And they had kind of changed the way they did things, like the setup in there, so it wouldn't have worked.
Right.
Like the spot that we used to have it, they made it into a game room. So it would have been hard to have bands playing there. So then it was going to be at Photo City in Rochester, and that kind of fell apart. And FNA's I've been doing shows at since 2016. So I was like, why don't I just ask and see if I can do it here? And they were more than open about doing it, because the shows have been going over pretty well there that I've been having. Like there's not a lot of competition out there. Whereas in, say Rochester or something, Rochester has the tendency to book three or four metal shows in one night.
Right.
And there's like Montage Music Hall, Bug Jar, Photo City, Monty's Crown, or Rosen Crown, whatever it's called now. And like a couple of weeks ago, they had like 4 or 5 metal shows going all at one time, but all of them had decent turnouts, which is good. It's good to see our local community thrive and checking out the bands that we have in the area.
Absolutely. It's great to see people finally, coming back to shows and getting back to, living life after being kind of in the house for 2 years and not being able to do these kind of things.
Yep. Yeah, it's I'm glad to have it back. I mean, I've been back at it since the middle of 2021, I want to say, or at least summertime of 2021. And I've had 3 shows at FNA's before this one that's happening now. I had one in October of last year, and then I do a birthday bash just about every year that we're able to, and I had one of those last year, and then this year I had my first one in April, and now we're having the festival show this Saturday. And doors open at 2 for this one, 2 in the afternoon, and Patchwork Down starts it off at 3 o'clock. And bands, if everything goes smoothly, we should be out of there around 1 o'clock. But that's everything going smoothly with
Right.
10 bands. So probably still be like 1:30 or something.
Yeah, we just played a show on Friday, and we're like, we have to be out of here because we got a flight to catch in the morning, and we were just hoping everything went on time, and we kind of lucked out because one of the bands dropped off, and we were like, oh, good, we'll be out of here way on time. But we were kind of like, this is gonna be close. We gotta be out of here and we got the in-ears now, so we're like kind of stuck there through the whole show. So
Yeah, I know a couple of bands that do things that way with the in-ears, and then they also like my friends in Drama Scream, they don't bring their amps, they just play through the board.
yep, that's what we do.
So it's definitely tons easier. Not a lot of setup, just like drums and getting everything tuned in the way that you want it.
So how do you, as an old school metalhead, how do you feel about bands using digital gear instead of like half stacks and Marshalls and all that fun stuff?
You see, to me, it doesn't really sound different, and if the bands are happy with it, and for the most part, for me, like, okay, per se, when we did Metal Fest, that was a voting process to get the bands on it. And a lot of the bands, brought their own gear, and there was a lot of amps and stuff getting switched around and all that stuff. And I don't know, I think, the less gear, the better. But at the same time, if the people in the crowd are vibing to everything that's going on, the thoughts and opinion of like one person is just that, the thoughts and opinion of one person. I could say, oh, I like it better like this, or I like it better like that, but
Right.
it's, for the most part, man, whatever sounds good to the people watching the show, if they're all vibing with it, I'm perfectly fine with it.
I'll tell you, since I started playing digital, like I've had people come up to me before sets, like, you're playing through that? And then after the sets, like, oh, what's that thing you're playing through? I got to get one of those, So yeah, definitely easier. Like that's like, I've got my stuff all kind of condensed into one box. So I just open the lid, plug things in, I'm good to go. It definitely helps with the transition, and it sounds to me just as good. I know there's some people out there who swear they can hear the difference, but I certainly can't.
Yeah. I coming from the old school, and I know like everybody's like, oh, Mesa Boogie and Marshall and all this, but we also get older, and like carrying heavy ass gear isn't what it's cracked up to be when you're 40 something.
Yeah. I was carrying, when I was in a metal band, I was carrying around a half stack, and I was like, I needed, my other guitar player shows up with a 112 combo amp that is blowing my half stack away. And I'm just like, why am I carrying this big ass thing? And then like I ended up trading for like a 212 combo, and then I was out of music for the longest time, and finally I was getting back into it. I saw somebody, one of the members of Kennedy Carpool, was playing through a little tiny stomp box. I said, "What are you playing through?" He says, "Oh, this thing. It's called an HX Stomp. It's like $600. I got it. It has all my, it has the amps and everything in it." And his other guitar player in the band has one of those Kempers, or the Axe Effects or whatever, like the actual like, really expensive one that like all the big bands use. I said, "Johnny, how much did you pay for that?" He says, $1,500. I'm like, and that $600 thing does pretty much the same thing. He says, "Yep." so I started off with the 16. I got a $1,500 thing now, but that's I kind of outgrew the $600 one, but that's besides the point. Yeah, I think that's that's kind of like a lot of old school metalheads are kind of set in their ways of like like, no, this band I like can't change, and no, you have to have a Marshall stack on stage, like
yeah. It's like that with their amps, and it's also like that like all the online comments that like the people that go online to bash things just to bash them.
Sure.
That gets, I read it. I don't get involved with it because it just seems like an argument that'll continue forever.
Yeah, that's kind of my mentality. Is like I could chime in here, but I don't want to get the notifications. I don't
Yeah.
want to put the energy into it. Like and like you got like this resurgence of Metallica with the Stranger Things. Having Master of Puppets and Stranger Things, and you got people like, well, I liked Metallica back when that album came out. You're just a poser, and you got Metallica like. You got Metallica straight up. Like, I got into Metallica in 96 with Load, So, like, you got Metallica now coming out. Like, guys, it doesn't matter what got them into this. They're part of the family now. Like they like the music. That's gonna get them to listen to, like, Kill 'Em All and Ride the Lightning and Justice for All and all that. Like, so who cares what got them into it? If they're into it, they're into it.
Exactly. Everybody starts somewhere. We probably had this discussion the last time that I talked with you and Karina, but the thing that got me into checking out hard rock and metal was Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction. Now, that record is a classic record, but I am extremely burnt out on that record just because of classic rock radio.
Sure.
However,
my co-host here, who's very quiet, he is here, John. He kind of looks like Axl Rose, and he says every time he turns on the stereo in his car, he hears "Sweet Child of Mine."
Yeah. You're a nation.
Yeah. You want to know what's weird? They used the Thor movie that just came out.
Yeah.
They used Guns N' Roses for the Thor movie. And
Yeah.
you would think for a Thor movie they would use something like Amon Amarth, but it is Disney, so it probably makes sense that they're using Guns N' Roses. Although Appetite for Destruction was a very vulgar record.
For sure. For me, like, I will change the station if "Sweet Child of Mine" comes on, because that song is just way too overplayed. And it's same like, Metallica's my favorite band, but if I hear Enter Sandman, I'm flipping to something else. Like,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I give me the deep cuts, give me Rocket Queen off of Appetite, something is one of those deeper cuts, not Welcome to the Jungle, not Sweet Child of Mine.
Or Paradise City.
Paradise City.
Another one.
Where did that come on the other day? We were out. You left the room and you came back in. And, we were at Stamps. We were getting ready you went out to get your drums, and I come out and Paradise City was playing on the over the.
I went to grab my drums.
Yeah, that's definitely like those three singles. Like I can listen to Welcome to the Jungle, like, all day, but it's still like way overplayed.
Yeah.
Yes.
But for me, I mean, what got me into hard rock and heavy metal was like Rage Against the Machine and White Zombie, and seeing like the Evil Empire era Rage Against the Machine videos, and seeing More Human Than Human on MTV, and like.
Yep.
And at the same time, I was meeting this dude who was like really into this band called Metallica, and like we're going to our third Metallica show together this actually next Thursday.
Is that the Buffalo Stadium?
That's the Buffalo one, and then I also got the tickets for Pittsburgh. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were the first
you.
band I ever seen in concert.
They were my first too, with Corrosion of Conformity back in '97 at the what's now the KeyBank Center.
Yep.
Here in Buffalo. I saw them. That was my first show. I was 15. My friends took me to the show. They said, I said, "Where's our seats?" And they said, "Seats?" Like, dude, no, we got general admission. We're on the floor. We go wherever we want. And that was like a brand new concept to me then. And funny enough, it was my buddy that I'm going with to this next show that had bought the tickets, and I asked him that. And so I bought tickets for all of us, and I said, "Yeah, dude, I got you tickets." Like, I hooked him up because he didn't have the money. So I was like, "All right, I bought you the tickets. Just pay me before the show." So I bought him the tickets. He says, "Where's our seats?" I said, "Dude, I've been waiting 25 years to say this to you." So, we got the floor. So, it's me and him and my cousin. We went to my first Metallica show together and my second one. And my buddy's just been like, oh, I want to go with you and your cousin to a Metallica show one more time. And then they announced the Buffalo show. I said, there you go, we're going. Let's go. So
Yeah, I had seen them with Aerosmith and the Black Crowes, and it was the end of the Injustice tour.
oh wow.
And this was Rochester at Silver Stadium, where the Rochester Red Wings used to play.
Okay.
And I was 14, just going on to 8th grade. And yeah, I was in my glory watching Metallica. And Aerosmith and the Crowes were great, but Aerosmith, after watching Metallica, seemed very, well, while they were entertaining, they were very bland
Right.
after watching Metallica.
Right.
So-
These are going to be my 8th and 9th Metallica shows, my 4th and 5th in the past year, because I went to the 2 in San Francisco and the 1 in Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's, I've been kind of trying to kind of following them around the country, and if I didn't have a show the other night, I probably would have went to Chicago to see them too, but had that show, so I was like, no, I think I don't want to go to Chicago, fly back home, play a show, then fly to Nashville.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
crazy enough weekend.
I've got 2 shows before Metal Meltdown on Saturday. I'm going to watch Crowbar in Rochester tomorrow, and then I'm going to watch Oceano and Entheos, and with some friends of mine, Bound and Quartered, who
Okay.
are out in the Corning area. They're opening that show, so I'm going to check that out. And then I have Metal Meltdown on Saturday, and then a couple of days after, Goat Horse in Syracuse.
Oh, wow. Busy weekend. I'm probably also going to try and go to shows every day this weekend and before heading to Metallica on Thursday. So
Yeah,
I know I saw you at, where did I see it? Dropkick Murphys, right? Up at
Yeah.
the Armory out there.
yep. Oddly enough, I'm wearing that shirt that I bought there. Those guys are great, man. I love that band.
That was a good show. I'm not a huge fan of the venue. I wasn't to begin with because of the sound, and I guess there's some kind of like political issue where people don't want to deal with them anymore either. But like, I'm not overly familiar with what that was all about. But like, the 2 times I've been there, I wasn't a fan of the sound at the Armory. So
Yeah, we were thinking about going to Anthrax there, and I was like, I like BLS. I don't mind Hatebreed. I love Anthrax, but I can't stand the Armory.
right.
So
Did I see at Killthrax at the Dome?
yep, yeah, I
Yeah.
was at that one too.
Yeah, I saw you there.
I
remember
think
seeing
that's
you.
where we officially met.
That you might be correct. I know Karina had known you for a while, and then she introduced
Yeah.
me to you, and then she shot me a message last night to tell me you had this show coming up, and asked if I wanted to get you on the show, and I said, yeah, let's get him on the show. Let's talk about this upcoming show this weekend, and hopefully get some folks interested and.
Yeah, and the sharing for the show, like the flyer, like online and all that, like all the bands have been like, sure, I'll make a post, pretty much a daily post, because I'll tag all the bands, and then they'll go. The majority of the bands will go through and either share that post or make their own to say, hey, we have this coming up. We'd love to see you out there. So when you have the bands behind what you're doing,
Absolutely. So for
That's
you bands watching right now, that's how you do it.
Yeah,
I know there are definitely some bands out there that will do the bare minimum. So it's
Yeah,
cool that all these bands are jumping right on to promote this for you.
yeah, I've worked with bands that will promote it either the week of or the day of. And then I've worked with bands, the last couple of shows, like the bands have been like insanely pumped about wanting to do this, and I actually have a funny story about this, because we had originally Patchwork Down and Tyranitar weren't a part of this show. I had Dreadnecks and Anthropic and they both had to pull out for unforeseen reasons.
Right.
So, that's the way it goes and how things work. And I was looking for actual bands, I wanted actual bands to take the place of other bands. And I had this guy that was a noise act that asked me if he could come on and play. And I was like, it's not really what I'm looking for this. I'm actually looking for a band. And he didn't get upset about it, but somebody else that used to be in a band sent me a message calling me, telling me that I was a piece of shit because I didn't put this guy on the show.
Oh, jeez.
And told me I was a thug for how I booked my shows and then just said a bunch of other stuff, and I was just kind of like, I could answer this guy back. If he had caught me 20 years ago, I would have been full tilt going for it, but at 46 years old, I'm like, you can have your problems with it. I'm just going to keep doing what I do.
It's your show. It's your business, how you handle the show. And if it's not part of your vision, obviously you're going to explore other options, and that makes sense to me. I don't know why it doesn't make sense to other people.
Yeah. I don't know what his problem was, and I'm just going to let it be what it is. Can't please everybody.
Right.
As far as I'm concerned, if sometimes if you're making people unhappy, maybe you're doing your job right.
We got Kirsten in our chat here. She says we have some of those trouble starters in Rochester right now, which I'm sure, given your booking area there, that's probably that might be one of them.
Yeah. The Rochester bands, I really don't have a ton of problems with. This guy was like a out of town band. I'm not gonna use names or whatever because that's pointless. But he, I came back in from watching AEW one night, and I get this message from this guy who was completely kicked off about the way I did things, and I was like, all right, then what sparked this? And then he's on his page saying, you know what, F Rick Horton and all of his shows and everything that he does. And I'm like, wow, okay. I guess somebody's getting blocked.
I guess. All right.
But I love the bands. I'm ready for this show, and I hope to see a ton of people out there. And thank you guys for giving me this time to promote it.
Absolutely, Rick.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're welcome anytime you got anything
Thank
to promote.
you.
Just let me know, and we'll get you right back on.
All right, man. Have a good rest of your show. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Thank you. Take care, bud.
See ya.
All right, that was Rick Horton. He's going to be promoting the Metal Meltdown this Saturday at F&A's Rhythm and Booze, 3 South Virginia Street, Waterloo, New York. Doors there at 2, music's at 3. It's 21 up after 9 p.m. So before that, I meant to ask if it was all ages, but I didn't get a chance to. $10 at the door for 10 bands. That's incredible. And this is one of those bands. This is Monochromatic Black, and this song is called Sadist on LWNY Think So Joe Show. By the way, this song's heavy.
In my dream life, in the day
All right, that was Monochromatic Black on all WNY Think So Joe show. There we are.
They were dope.
That song called Sadist. They are playing at the Metal Meltdown this weekend that we were just
Metal Meltdown.
just talking to Rick Horton before the break about, and that is Saturday at F&A Rhythm and Booze, 3 South Virginia Street in Waterloo. And other bands on that bill include the Burned Out Sons, Tyranitar, Cactus Cathedral, Ancient Crown, Floodlands, Haitian, Burnt Sun, Turbo Beast, and Patchwork Down. That's 2 p.m. For doors, 3 o'clock music starts, 21 and up after 9 p.m., and it's $10 for 10 bands.
Can't beat that.
No, I mean, even if you don't want to sit through 10 bands, if you just want to go catch like 2 or 3 bands, $10
fine.
is still a good value, man, for a show.
Hell yeah.
So Rick just actually tagged us in a post on Facebook. Tagged me in a post. I already saw John Johnson's post. That's not what I was looking for. John Johnson sent us a picture of him wearing his Ask John t-shirt that you could get on merch.thinksojoe.com. Says, thank you to Joe Kent and Company at the Think So Joe podcast for letting me promote Metal Meltdown. Looking forward to this weekend's festivities and what it brings. Hope to see you there. There you go. A big thank you to Rick Horton for jumping on and doing this interview with us. We just arranged this all last night. We're at band practice. Karina's texting me. She's thanking us for playing the show and saying she loved all the covers we played. We had this all planned out. Because we're doing an 80s covers EP. And so the plan was we were going to like rip through 3 songs. And then I was going to be like, oh, hey, yeah, shout out to the other bands, blah, blah, blah. And happy birthday to Karina. Oh, and by the way, this song's off our 80s covers EP. Which would make everybody think we were going to play Never Gonna Give You Up by Rick Astley. Which we
that's what she always think what's going to happen.
So she just yells, hey, fuck you.
And Kitty goes, fuck you too.
And then we played Dead or Alive, You Spin Me.
Yes.
And then we closed the set with Never Gonna Give You Up, and she was right in front of us dancing and having the time of her life. And I gave her her birthday present, which was a cassette copy of Rick Astley's album that had Never Gonna Give You Up on it. Whenever you need somebody, that's the album.
When we said we weren't going to play that song, we were going to play that song. We pretty much just gave
We
it
didn't
away.
didn't put it on the set list. The closest thing we had on the set list was the set list said, we're no stranger to set lists. Because, we got to put a pun on every single set list. So I was just like, I don't know what the fuck to put. And we were like discussing it, and just like everything that came up in the group chat was just like 4 or 5 lines. And I'm like, you know what? Screw it. We're no stranger to set lists. John, has anyone ever asked you a question? Asks Laura.
Really? Really?
John said he got a frame for his shirt after he gets it back from us when we sign it, and he's going to put it in his daughter's room. That's cool. I was just thinking today, like, hey, we never got that shirt in the mail to sign. So I'm glad he got it, and we should be getting it soon to sign it.
Looks great, though. Looks great.
We should have covered Wake Me Up Before You Go Go by Wham. It's not on the list. That didn't come up. We don't have any George Michael in our list.
No.
No Wham. Nah, we
Maybe some Twisted Sister, but I don't know.
Twisted Sister, yeah. It's gonna be a good set. It's gonna be a good EP.
Mix
It's gonna be like 7 songs, so it's gonna be expensive to pay for all those fucking cover licenses. But what are you gonna do?
We recorded 2.
We've got 2 recorded, so we're waiting for vocals on those, and then hopefully, after that we'll be able to kind of start releasing stuff and put together some artwork.
We're very excited about the project.
Yeah. So those are 2 of them. Are going to be You Spin Me and of course Never Gonna Give You Up, which was the catalyst for the whole thing. We actually just watched the first time we ever played Never Gonna Give You Up. We were just watching it right before we came on the air because it was John's first show.
Yes.
And John, I'm like John, you got to see how fast you were playing this one song. And then
I wish I could go back in time and just like tell myself, slow the fuck down.
And then I'm just like, dude, you're like, listen to how I played Never Gonna Give You Up. I completely botched the fucking beginning
I
of it.
got better over time.
You absolutely did. So did I. Except my solo Friday night was way out of tune.
It was way out of tune, but it sounded so cool.
It did. It was like an octave. It was almost like a full octave down, so it was
But
okay.
still, it was a solo. It was a really cool solo.
It would have sounded better if it was in tune.
I was like playing. I was like, "Ooh, he's trying something new here."
I wasn't. I was trying to play but it was like so bent on it. Like because like the way we play Bomb the Incel Industry now is I do some like ska chords and then a little solo kind of lick of the main riff, and then there's a bend. And apparently when I did the bend, I bent my G string so much that it dropped to like A flat, like an octave lower. Like if it would have gone down one more note, it would have been perfectly like it would have been perfectly intonated to what it should have sounded like. But
hey, you're very creative with it, though. Very creative, though. It still sounded good to me.
I mean, it worked, but it was like
It worked.
it's
Yeah,
like something
definitely.
doesn't sound right, and then I went to kind of reprise it after, and it's like, like, oh, yeah, no, not doing that. That doesn't sound good. Let's not do that. So, but yeah,
It was a good set.
it was a good set. We had everybody had some fun, and Jasmine's here. She's actually got all of the covers. Between Yellow Sauce and Living Brain Dead that were played the other night. I sent all the covers to her.
Nice.
Because she was talking about, she wanted to hear Katie sing Dead or Alive. And it was like, all right.
She might have forgot the second verse, but
She did.
She does amazing with it.
Oh yeah. And just it's a lot of
That was
fun.
funny.
It's a lot of fun to play, and so is
I was laughing my ass off when it came to the second verse. I was like,
especially, so she says it was like she was really there, especially with Yellow Sauce, because we got like soundboard audio for Yellow Sauce. When I went to go record Yellow Sauce, it overwrote the Living Brain Dead audios. Luckily, I was using my backup camera too, and was able to get our whole set. So I got the audio from both sets and video in full from our set. So
your buddies in the Yellow Sauce, they're funny.
so I am told the night before, like, I'm getting texts like, do you have a red fitted hat? Like, yeah. Could you wear your red fitted hat and Ryan can steal it off your head when we play break stuff? What? Okay, sure. And then like,
Is that why you're wearing a San Francisco hat?
that's why I was wearing a red hat. It was my San Francisco hat, yeah. But like that's why I wore a red hat, because they asked me to.
Okay.
And like Ryan starts singing the song, and he forgot to grab the hat off my head. So I'm like, dude. And so he's like, oh, takes the hat off my head, sings the song. It was kind of like it was one of the like Yellow Sauce does a lot of like spontaneous shit. Like that was planned, but like it wasn't fully planned. Like I wasn't completely in on it. So like when he got to like, oh, I pack a chainsaw, I'm like, wait, I should just do the what's.
What?
I pack a chainsaw. What? And like it threw him off because he didn't know like that I was gonna do that. He's like, did I fuck up? And he's, oh no, he's in on it. You know? Like okay, let's we'll just keep going.
I thought you were dying with your mask on when we were playing.
Oh man,
I had
like
to fix. Before we did the set, I had to fix his mask because
Yeah.
his face was everywhere.
yeah. So like I always for every set we use a I wear a face mask. It used to be like I used to have a bandana, and now I got like an actual like wrap that you can. I think you can actually buy them on shop.livingbraindead.com. But I got the face wrap, so like that goes around my face, and like I cannot see it, so I always have to be like, John, fix my mask. And normally
I'll fix it, honey.
normally I'll wear it for OK Boomer, and then take it off. And I definitely would have died had I been wearing the fucking bandana, because
I had to get that hoodie off out of the third song.
Yeah. But we made this executive decision to just rip through the first 3 songs. So I did not have an opportunity to take the mask off, nor you the hoodie, until we were done with our third song.
I was like, I can't wait for my water break.
So like as soon as that third song's over, I'm like trying to peel this mask off my face.
I'm serious about it. Wear one of those bear dispenser hats so I get a straw so I could drink water.
Yeah, right,
and still
right.
Going through those 3 songs.
Yeah, but I definitely I was definitely like, yeah, this mask needs to come off. And then like I go to address the audience and do this whole thing that we had like planned out. And Ryan's like, "Hey Joe, can I get a little more of me in my monitor?" Like, I'm about to talk to the audience here. Give me a minute, you know.
We love Ryan. We love Ryan.
And then I'm giving my little speech that I came up with, and I'm hyping up all the bands, and I get to Yellow Sauce, and Karina comes up to me, "Hey, Kaiser Solzy dropped off the show." Okay, Kaiser Solzy just so everybody's got to interrupt me while I'm giving my speech. Okay, cool. You know? And then it's like, all right, happy birthday, Karina. Here's a song off our 80s covers EP. But you know,
It was actually Ryan's last show with us.
it was Ryan's last show with us. That's a huge bummer.
Gonna miss him.
So we're gonna go back to some questions here.
Yes. Let's answer them.
Okay, John, what do you put on a pizza and why is it bananas?
How do you know about that? I never told anybody about that.
John, favorite Assassin's Creed game?
Ooh.
You play the Assassin's Creed games? I own a couple of them. I've never played them.
Sorry, Johnny. No.
Yeah, it just didn't seem like my kind of game.
Sorry,
so
I never played it. I don't know if I don't like it or not, but I never played it. I don't know if I.
So when I bought
I should.
when I bought my Xbox One, they were doing a promotion where you got like 2 Assassin's Creed games and like one of the Madden games with it. And like I never played the Assassin's Creed games. It just didn't seem like something that would be up my alley. So I didn't really play it. John,
I can't say I hate it or not.
Right, exactly. It just doesn't seem like something that I'd be into. But you know, like I'm sure they're great games. Everybody always talks about how good they are, so I'm sure they're good. John,
give it a shot.
John, what is your least favorite game?
My least favorite game?
Yes.
Nitro.
Have you ever played Nitro?
Yeah.
You have? No? Okay. So you just because I told you about the B level, right?
This sounds awful.
The B level's awful.
My least favorite game. This is hard.
Tell you what, man, I
don't know.
I played Paperboy for the first time in my life the other day. Cause Ryan was
I sucked. You know what? I sucked at that.
Dude, Ryan was gushing about that game and how he used to play it at the arcades. Like, dude, you gotta let me come play it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, yeah, come fucking play it. But and I'm like trying to play it. So the thing is, like, it's Paperboy, but it's on the Mortal Kombat machine. So you're playing with the Mortal Kombat controls.
Okay.
And I'm like, I have no fucking clue what I'm doing.
I tried on Nintendo.
Yeah.
Way back then.
I mean, those Nintendo games, there was a term for them, Nintendo hard, because those Nintendo games were really fucking difficult.
Yeah.
I don't know if Paperboy was one of those, but like a lot of those Nintendo games. Like I to this day have not beaten Ghosts and Goblins.
Really?
To this day, I have not beaten Ghosts and Goblins. I used to play the fuck out of that game, and I sucked. I couldn't get past like the 3rd or 4th level. I don't remember which. But yeah, like I mean, but I wouldn't say that that you know I didn't like it because of that. But like, I don't know. I can't play first-person shooters. I physically cannot play them. Like I get motion sick. It's terrible. I can play them for like 5-10 minutes at a time. So like I've played and beaten Doom, but it took me like a week and a half because I'm just sitting there like, all right, I gotta put this down. There you go. I'll tell you, my least favorite segments in a game is the fucking special stages in Sonic CD. Who the fuck came up with that bullshit? Anyway. Yeah, so anyway, continuing on. John, thoughts on random guy in the back. P.S. What was his name?
Sam.
Yeah, Wasted Rejects.
Sam.
Go see him on Sunday.
My thoughts? I love that dude.
Go see him on
He's my
Sunday
little
at
brother.
Mohawk Place. We'll be there. Yeah, Sam's a great guy, man. He was at our show the other day. He's up there with
He's amazing.
he's up there with the
artist.
balloons and
I used to be in a band with him. I know
yeah.
specifically, he's a great artist.
He's a great dude.
Great dude.
Joe and John, what happened to the Dreadnecks? Haven't heard you talk about them in a while. I love the Dreadnecks, and I believe one of their guitar players just left, which isn't a problem for the Dreadnecks because they've been through many lineup changes.
We have two lately.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But the Dreadnecks are going to be just fine, and they're still out playing shows. Just they haven't really played much of Buffalo recently, so
Good band though.
yeah. So, but hopefully we'll see them again soon. They're not one. I've been trying to book my birthday show for this year, and I have not asked them. Usually they're one of the first bands, but I was like, I'm gonna do something different this year. I'm gonna ask like bands that I don't usually get to play with. I asked and confirmed actually Smitten for Trash is gonna be on my birthday show this year. They were supposed to be on last year. They got COVID, couldn't do the show, just like every other band on the show, including us. And then I reached out to another band last night. I'm waiting to hear back from them. I'm gonna reach out to another band right after the show too. But the Dreadnecks, not one of them. I do love the Dreadnecks, though, and I do look forward to every chance I get to see them. But right now, just hasn't been a lot to talk about as far as the Dreadnecks. So that would be why we haven't talked about the Dreadnecks in a while. John, how do you feel about the Bee Movie? You ever see the Bee Movie with Jerry Seinfeld? I never saw it.
I never. B movie.
Yeah, I never saw it either.
No, I've never seen it.
Nintendo made games difficult intentionally so you couldn't beat it while renting it and you'd buy it instead. That makes perfect sense, actually. Bring back ThinkSoJoE Gaming with John. I just got a PlayStation 2.
Like the way she thinks.
I just got a PlayStation 2. I need to get the HDMI hookup so I can run it through the setup here and just play Mortal Kombat Trilogy all night on fucking Twitch.
Oh yeah.
John loves random guy in the back.
It's my brother.
John, from least to greatest fighting, in your opinion, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken, and Killer Instinct. Which is your least, and then go up.
My least.
Which is your least favorite out of the four of those? Killer Instinct, Tekken, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat. So
my favorite. I'll go with my favorite.
Okay, what's your favorite?
Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat. All right, mine too. What's second?
Second, I never played any of those other games.
You never played Street Fighter?
Oh, Street Fighter, yeah. That goes second. It goes Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter. What was the other two?
Tekken and Killer Instinct. You ever played either of those?
Not those.
Okay.
Those are the only two that I know.
I have played all four of those. Definitely Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, the top two. Mortal Kombat number one, of course. I get the right here, right on my arm. I got the arcade machine right in the next room. So
I was playing him.
Yeah, he was playing the other night.
Waiting for you to get out of the shower.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat, then Street Fighter, Killer Instinct, and Tekken. I think probably that order. And I don't really like Killer Instinct that much, so and that's nothing against Killer Instinct. I just have no fucking clue how to play that game anymore. I used to play it all the time. Like, we used to hang out on Grand Island, and one of our friends had it for Nintendo 64 or Super Nintendo, one of the two. And we used to play the shit out of that game. And I just do not remember how to do anything in that game. And I've got it for Xbox. Tekken. So there's a place around the corner from me, and we just found out they lost their liquor license, so they're not open at the moment. And when I found out about this, I mentioned if you walk by there, and you can't see it anymore, but like for the longest time, if you walk by there, you look in the window, there is a Mortal Kombat 2 machine converted into Tekken, and it's like, yeah, fuck that place. They deserve anything they get, desecrating Mortal Kombat like that. So
Bastards.
John, favorite game? More Tony Hawk 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Favorite Tony Hawk game? Three? Tony Hawk 3. So, funny enough, I now have Tony Hawk 3 on like 3 different platforms. I have it for PC, I have it for Xbox, and for PlayStation 2. Because I was given a PlayStation 2 with a bunch of games, and that was one of them.
I might just sleep over so I can play it.
I am a Tony Hawk 2 guy all the way. I love Tony Hawk 2. I do. So it depends for Tony Hawk 3, because there are 2 different versions of Tony Hawk 3. Because
really?
there's like the original PlayStation version.
I got the original.
So like the original PlayStation version, and then there's like the more modern, like the Xbox and PlayStation 2 version, which is I prefer that to the original.
Different?
They're a little bit different.
More graphics, or
the graphics are better. The levels are a little bit different. There's more stuff you can like do and destroy, and you can completely like destroy one of the cities in the more upgraded version, which is what I was specifically looking for when I was buying copies of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. And I'm super excited to now have it on PlayStation 2 so I can play that version whenever I get around to hooking that up and having time to actually do anything. Because since I've gotten the PlayStation, I've played a show, gone to Nashville, slept all day, procrastinated on work, had band practice. I worked from the time I got up till like 3 o'clock today. And as soon as like Dynamite is over tonight, I got to jump right back in the bouth and do a couple of $100 worth of work.
Yesterday, the 3 of us were so tired of band practice.
Oh yeah, for sure. Kirsten's bouncing. She's got chores she needs to do. We hope to see you next week. Thank you for tuning in. Joe and John, your favorite characters and their fatalities for Mortal Kombat. Who's your favorite Mortal Kombat character of all time? Out of any of the games. I'm not going to limit you to just like any specific Mortal Kombat game. Oh, Laura's not right. She's early. But out of any Mortal Kombat game, we'll think about it during the song break, because we're about to go to a song break in about 20 seconds.
Get back to you.
And you can think about this, and I'll think about it a little bit too, because I don't necessarily know my favorite fatality. But we will we'll go to a song break. We'll talk about this show coming up this Friday night down at the Buffalo Grill and Ale House. That's 603 Dingeon Street in Cheektowaga. And that is Lazy Ass Destroyer and so it's Green Jello with Lazy Ass Destroyer and the Angry Soil All Stars, and then local support from Garfrankel, the Gravediggers, and this band, the Clockers, good friends of the show here, and that is at 6:30. It's 18 and up. It's a $13 pre-sale, $17 day of the show. This is the Clockers. This song is called "Friend to Me" on all WNY ThinkSoJoE show.
For the
prophecy.
Thanks for the tip, I didn't know.
You were a friend of mine.
You must have thought that I was slow.
You were the prophecy.
Thanks for the tip, I didn't know.
You were a friend of mine.
You must have thought that I was slow.
You were the prophecy.
Thanks for the tip, I didn't know.
You were a friend of mine.
You must have thought that I was slow.
You were the prophecy.
The Clockers on all WNY Think So Joe show. That song called "Friend to Me." Catch them Friday night with the legendary punk rock puppet show Green Jello. Down at
Jello.
Green Jello sucks. Green Jello sucks. Gotta go to that show, man. I don't know how I'm getting there or home, but I'm going. It's gonna be a killer show. This is the lineup, man. You got the Clockers, who are fantastic. We got Green Jello, Lazy Ass Destroyer, Garfrankel, and the Gravediggers. Like, that's gonna be a good show. I am like, and I've been trying to see Lazy Ass Destroyer. Just every time he's been in town, I've been busy. So like, I don't have anything going on Friday. I'm gonna try and get to the show and go see Lazy Ass Destroyer, and Green Jello, of course, because fucking Green Jello. Gotta love Green Jello, man. Now, so before the break, we were asked Mortal Kombat characters and their fatalities. Your favorite one?
I don't know my fatality, but if I had to pick a character, Sub-Zero.
All right. It depends on the game, I guess.
Yeah.
So, like,
True.
I love Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 3. But I love Baraka in Mortal Kombat 2 and Scorpion in Mortal Kombat 1.
Scorpion.
So
second.
And then when you get to the newer games, like, I am a huge fan of Cassie Cage. Like, Cassie Cage is one of my favorite fucking characters. Like, she plays well. And then, like, her fucking, like, she'll kick your fucking guts out, jam her hands in between your fucking ribs, and just form a heart. Like, that's, yeah, these newer fatalities are way more brutal than the ones back in the day. I don't know, like,
Don't put me in the game.
Don't put you in the game. You don't want to get your midsection kicked out.
It's like being a match with Brock Lesnar.
You got the Scorpion fatality where he knocks your head off and then just shoots the harpoon at the spear at you. Just so now your head's floating in the air with this fucking giant metal hook going through it.
Great, I'm gonna have nightmares tonight.
Oh man, yeah, no, I don't know. I was playing. Somebody posted the fatality, Kano's fatality from Mortal Kombat 3, where he just reaches in and pulls out your whole ass skeleton through your mouth. And I'm like, yo, that's the first fatality I ever did in that game. I did it at the Walden Galleria Mall, and I did it like on an earlier revision before they changed the button combination to what it is now. That was the first fatality I ever did in Mortal Kombat 3. Johnny Mercury says, modern game, Johnny Cage ribs open up and he says, here's Johnny. Fatality from MK Deadly Alliance, the brain rip from Johnny Cage. John, thoughts on electricity?
Thoughts on electricity, okay.
Thoughts on electricity?
Well, I like lights. I mean, I'm afraid of the dark. Not literally afraid of the dark. Just kidding. I think it's electricity is a great thing to have.
Good call.
Yeah.
Great thing, yeah.
Yeah, especially in this heat, man. It's 86
Yes.
degrees. We are sweating because I didn't get the fan out today. So we're like, I did put a button on the Stream Deck to control the air conditioner now, so I don't have to say out loud any voice commands for anybody that'll set off anybody's wiretaps in their homes. So like every single song break, we're just like AC. John, did you make forts or have a tree house when you were younger?
Forts.
You made forts?
That was a can of forts.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't. I used to take like shoestrings and like tie them around the fucking chairs in the living room so it'd be like wrestling ring ropes. I don't know. I guess it seemed, but that was when I was like a little kid. It wasn't like we were talking about last week with the dude with the clotheslines tied around the trees in his backyard when he was fucking 17, you know? But, yeah. But, yeah, anyway. So, we're going to be playing the Music is Art Festival this year.
Yes, we are.
We are.
Come
We always
out, party.
we always do a Music is Art showcase on the podcast, and we always try to tell you, you know, we try to give you bands throughout the course of the day to go to. So now you're going to, the night before, you're going to go see Newfound Glory.
Yes.
And then I'm planning on being at Music is Art all day, so we got to figure out when we're going to have some sort of full band practice.
Yes.
If, you know, that might be like a 10 o'clock in the morning thing, so I could get to Music is Art and be like, yo, who's playing at 11 a.m.?
Yeah.
I went down to, I went down last year and I caught Jay Aquarius playing at, 11:30 on the Cheerios stage. And definitely was like, yeah, this is cool. Like, I was there all day. I saw so many bands all throughout the day. The Silo stage is cool. That's where we're playing. I saw at the Helm over there, and I saw Hearts and Hand Grenades over there. So
7:15.
7:15 at the Ganson Silo stage. We're down there. One of the bands that's on one of these shows that we're promoting this weekend. I don't know if it's one that we picked to play, but one of the bands that's on one of the shows that we're talking about this weekend is actually playing that same stage at 8:15. Like an hour after we are. Let's see. We have Laura says, where'd it go? Did you miss me last week, John? She was
Of course.
looking for
I was wondering, where's Laura?
she was looking for an H for you.
Oh.
Joe and John, when you were younger, did you have snowball fights or get physical, or did your snowball fights get physical, or did you have fun and leave? I think had fun and leave.
Me too. You know, I tried to bury my cousin in the snow.
The worst was like my cousins and I would always like wrestle in the basement. And like we did not have a rug that was conducive to rolling around on and wrestling. It was a very like abrasive rug.
We did it on the trampoline.
We didn't have one, so we just had the basement floor with a rug on it. But my cousin put me in a sharpshooter Boston Crab or something once, and I like powered out of it. And his face just went right across this like really abrasive fucking rug that was in the basement. And he gets up and he's just got scrapes all across his face. And we're going to see Metallica together on Thursday next week. Anyway. Laura is John's new tag team partner, Johnny Mercury's new tag team partner. So because he's Mercury, she's Laura Nitro. I saw Eminem wrestle like on a house show before they were on WWE TV. It was a fun show. It was right after like John Cena lost the U.S. title to Orlando Jordan.
Yeah.
And JBL was still the champion, so JBL's coming out and he's, he got beat in like 10 seconds in whatever his match was, and he's like, what kind of chicken shit way of winning that match was that? Anyway. Favorite submission hold? Johnny Mercury loves the sharpshooter. What's your favorite submission hold, John?
Mine's, that's a good one. Oh.
I was partial to the cross-face chicken wing, the Bob Backlund style.
Oh, okay. I gotta go with my boy, Angle.
You got the ankle lock going?
Yeah,
All
but
right.
when he kind of falls down and...
So with the grapevine, like
yeah.
Okay. Laura likes the bear hug.
The bear... No one does the bear hug anymore, but that...
I know. The
Bring
bear
that
hug
back.
Bear hug back in the day, man. That was like, oh shit, Hulk Hogan's gonna squeeze the life out of this guy.
She's hulking
or,
out.
or whoever wrestles Hulk Hogan is going to squeeze the life out of him. And Hulk Hogan's just, they don't do the arm drop anymore
not
either.
anymore.
You remember like Hulk Hogan would just like, the arm would drop the second time, and then the referee would hold it up for like this uncomfortably long time the third time, and just drop it, and Hogan would be like, get the finger going.
You.
They don't do that anymore, man.
Makes me sad.
I did see a match, and it was something I always thought would have been cool to do, and I saw this recently where, like, the referee was doing the arm drop thing, and the dude's arm dropped over the rope, so they had to break the hold. It's like, yeah, that's something I would have booked if I was a wrestling booker, because I'd never seen anything like that before. Who did the ankle lock better, Kurt Angle or Ken Shamrock?
Yo, whoa. Okay, I do like what Kurt Angle has done to the ankle lock, but I gotta go Ken Shamrock. He's brutal.
Dude, Ken Shamrock.
WrestleMania 14.
Oh, man. I also would go Ken Shamrock. I mean, Kurt Angle took that and made it his own, and, a lot of people have done it since, too, and,
Ken Shamrock is brutal at it. I mean, like, he's the one that made that famous. Kurt Angle did, too, but...
I mean, if Ken Shamrock hadn't done it, would Kurt Angle have done that specific move? It's not an amateur hold, right? So, I mean, like, he had to learn it from somewhere, probably watching Ken Shamrock. So, I don't know. I don't think you can use that in a amateur wrestling match in the Olympics. I have no idea. I don't know what the rules
least
are.
favorite is the Boston Crab.
Least favorite move is the Boston Crab?
Come on.
Okay.
I could easily get out of that.
Here's what I don't get, man. I don't get the sharpshooter, and here's why.
Why?
Has nobody ever watched Bret Hart versus Owen Hart? Because every time, from WrestleMania 10,
Okay. Yes.
because if you watch that match, Owen gets Bret in the sharpshooter, Bret reaches back, grabs Owen's leg, and pulls it out from under him, and gets out of the sharpshooter. You're telling me in the years, in the 20 years, almost 30 years since this match took place, nobody has thought to do that in a match against Bret Hart? Nobody was like, hey, I remember seeing Bret get out of this like this. No, they just stay in the fucking sharpshooter and they tap out. Nobody knows the counter for this move? Okay. Ultimate question. Is it RKO or a diamond cutter? He still calls it the diamond cutter. I also have to go with the diamond cutter.
Bang.
Bret Hart is God. What religion are you studying? Shawn Michaels is God. You're in the wrong crowd here, buddy.
Yes. We're all HBK. All the way.
She's right. Bret Hart's been retired for over 20 years. Yeah, she has a point.
Or it does has a point.
She does have a point.
She always has a point.
But the point stands. The Scorpion
Yes.
Deathlock. When other people, like when The Rock does a sharpshooter, as poor as that looks, like nobody thinks to reach back and pull the guy's leg out from under him.
This is Claudio.
Claudio.
He does a sharpshooter.
Yeah. Yeah, like I think he does that in tribute of Tyson Kidd, who was doing the sharpshooter.
Oh, his former tag
Because they
team
were
partner.
tag team
Best
partners when
friends.
Kidd got his neck broken.
Yes, he retired.
But still, like, you watch all these Bret Hart matches, these classic Bret Hart matches that took place after WrestleMania 10 and after he got out of the sharpshooter that way.
No one ever tried
Nobody fucking thinks to do this. Like, don't you guys watch tapes? Don't you study? Like, aren't we supposed to pretend this is a real sport? Favorite ECW wrestler, John's, is Steve Corino. It's an interesting choice. Favorite ECW wrestler?
Very.
I mean, I know mine because he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, period. But who's your
Mine?
favorite? Yeah, who's your favorite ECW wrestler?
Mr. Pay-Per-View.
Oh, you're going RVD.
Rob Van Dam.
Laura says her favorite ECW wrestler is the Shaw of ECW, Hack Myers. But of course, I have to go with Raven.
Raven or the Sandman.
Sandman.
Second.
So I met both of them actually. Sandman poured beer down my throat. Like I got to be
Did.
part of that iconic Sandman entrance. And Raven was cool as shit. Like Brian and I went to meet Raven because he was both of our favorite wrestlers.
How is he?
Raven was pretty cool, man. He was
Nice.
he was just chill. Yeah, he was just like there to sign autographs and take pictures, but like he was nice about it. He wasn't a dick, Like, when I met Stacy Keebler and she was just like nose up in the air, not answering questions, not talking to people, just signing autographs, get the fuck out of here basically. Sitting right next to Edge, who's in a neck brace and cool as fuck. He's like, yeah, guys, I should be back around November. Thanks for asking. Hey, I appreciate you being fans. Here you go. Here's your autograph. I don't know. But, I have been a Raven fan since that character debuted in ACW. I was so happy when he won the NWA Heavyweight Championship when he was in TNA. And
I don't know. I mean, I've been a Johnny Polo fan for a long time. I mean, I don't know if they're related or...
Dude, it took me so damn long to realize who the fuck Raven was before he was Raven.
The Mounties manager.
Yeah, Johnny met...
Johnny Polo!
Met Steve Carino and C.W. Anderson in North Carolina, and he introduced you to Dusty Rhodes. I can see why he'd be your favorite. American Dream, baby.
Always got the cowbell.
You're sitting there with a cowbell. I'm just like, he's just a common man.
Yeah, I know we were doing that.
And it hit me like the night after we got home because I'm sitting here fucking with these drums, and there's one of the settings has the ride cymbal set as a cowbell, so I'm just do, and I'm like, shit, I should have asked Jimmy Hart if that was him singing on that song. Because I swear that's Jimmy Hart singing on the fucking the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes WWE theme song, Common Man. Thoughts on The Rock? Biggest star in Hollywood?
He needs to come back.
Biggest star in Hollywood. He was the biggest star in wrestling. He left for like 7 years, didn't even acknowledge wrestling existed. And then he came back and everybody's like, oh, we love The Rock. And, I was kind of pissed off about it at the time, but I'm over it. I even just recently bought Central Intelligence.
You know who you should acknowledge. You know who you should acknowledge. My tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
I had to listen to this all damn weekend.
Roman Reigns, baby.
I had to listen to this
Still
all
the champion.
weekend.
I acknowledge him.
I had to deal with this all weekend. This guy, Roman Reigns, I acknowledge my tribal chief. We're walking through Nashville,
We're the ones.
We're walking through the airport in Chicago. We're seeing Bloodline t-shirts. We get to
Bloodline.
Nashville. We see Bloodline t-shirts
Take
everywhere.
it over, baby.
I finally saw some Brock Lesnar t-shirts. Like, there we go.
Brock Lesnar, no.
I didn't see any Theory t-shirts though.
There it comes out.
Let me tell you something. We get to WrestleMania or to SummerSlam, and we go to the merch booth, and we're looking at the merch booth. This is what the merch is: SummerSlam memorabilia, a John Cena T-shirt, and what the fuck was the other one? It was somebody else that wasn't there. I don't remember who. But it was like two guys that aren't on this show, and SummerSlam merch. Like, what the fuck? I can't buy a Becky Lynch or Bianca Belair T-shirt or a Roman. I can't buy Bloodline merch if I wanted to, or Brock Lesnar merch or Theory merch. Replica Money in the Bank title so I could go cash
my
in.
dead body. I'm gonna wear a Theory T-shirt.
Replica Money in the Bank briefcase so I could go cash in myself. Just like I've got to listen to this guy like acknowledge your tribal chief all fucking weekend.
Sam agrees with me. Background guy, They acknowledge the tribal chief.
The Rock says he's never going away via satellite. Yeah, I was in the building when that promo happened via satellite. He's literally sitting
Don't even think about it, Rock.
He's sitting in fucking Miami. He's like, "Oh, finally The Rock has come back to Buffalo." Like, where? I'm in the arena. The ring's empty.
Don't even think about coming back and challenging my tribal chief.
Craziest moment in my life, met Owen Hart at King's Dominion theme park 3 months before he died. Great guy, we'll never forget it. How many John Cena shirts did you buy? I did not buy any because I was not standing in that fucking line for somebody who wasn't even on the damn show. I don't get, like, it was literally...
I wish he was on the show.
Do you remember who the other person was? Because there was two of them. There was John Cena and there was somebody else, and it was Stone Cold.
Yeah,
they had a Stone Cold t-shirt. Like, why? He's not on the show. I don't even think he was in Nashville. It's just like, hey, you want to buy this you want to buy this Nashville 316 t-shirt? No, the fuck I don't.
Sell merch that people are the actual wrestlers are gonna be on the show. You have to buy it offline if you want a good shirt. But AEW has all the shirts.
He didn't buy any because he couldn't see them. Where is it? There it is. Anyway. Yeah, it was just weird. Like, they had like a big like store you could walk in, and I think they might have had more merch. But more. Why not have them at all the merch tables?
Yeah.
Like, if I wanted to buy a Street Profits t-shirt.
Like back then, going to wrestling shows, they would have the t-shirt.
Yeah.
For the people that are going to be on the show.
Yeah.
Or they're actually in the company still.
Rather buy a Danhausen shirt. He's epic. Don't I know somebody with a Danhausen shirt?
This guy.
He bought the Danhausen shirt, so I went with the Claudio t-shirts. When we went to AEW.
He's very evil.
Yeah, he's very nice, very evil.
Very elite.
Yeah, Stone Cold has been retired for 20 years, except he wrestled just like 2 months ago, so really, what are we talking about here? He did have a match. He wrestled Kevin Owens at WrestleMania.
Hey, if you ever need a lawyer, we need to hire Danhausen.
Hire Danhausen.
Or Ryan.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Ryan.
Definitely Ryan.
But yeah, it's just why not have everything at every merch booth instead of like, oh, we got this big store you could go in, or you could buy SummerSlam merch or two guys that don't wrestle that aren't on this show or probably aren't even in Nashville. Like, what the fuck? Were there any Prince Albert shirts? No. I was kind of looking for, like, when we were walking back over the bridge back over to like Third Avenue. I was kind of looking at everybody's t-shirts. I was just kind of trying to find like some obscure wrestling t-shirts. I didn't really see any. So, yeah, Stone Cold unretired for one match.
One match.
John, opinion on Hookhausen?
The greatest team ever.
Hook is your FTW champion.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah, he won
his dad's very proud of him.
Won the title last week on AEW Dynamite, which is coming up in about 5 minutes. AEW Dynamite. I still haven't seen NXT from last night because I got home and I jumped right in the booth and then I worked until I didn't feel like working anymore. I'm like, I'm gonna take a 4-hour nap, which turned into a 6-hour nap, so I missed 3 deadlines. Woke up, got those jobs done, and now I've got a deadline at like midnight that's like 6,000 words or something, so that's gonna be fun. So yeah, so like as soon as Dynamite's over, I'm jumping right in the booth. I've got about 12,000 words, like right back to back to back. So
busy boy you are.
It's because I didn't feel like working the first 2 nights after we got home. I did like the bare minimum, and I'm paying for it now. But anyway, let's talk about this last show and play this last song, and we can turn this AC back on because it is still 86 degrees here in Buffalo. But Lost Like Lions are performing Saturday at Rec Room. That's at 79 West Chippewa Street in Buffalo. It is their Fear of Letting Go EP release show with Wild Once, Tuesday Night, and Karma Queen, and it's emceed by DJ Market Fresh. And I fully things you might not know. I told a famous rock band to keep it down. This is true. I did once tell a famous rock band to keep it down. I told people that there was a rock band in this room. They still put an elderly lady right next door to them. And of course, I'm getting the call, oh, they're making so much noise next door. So I had to literally call New Year's Day and tell them to turn it down. But anyway, that is a true story. Anyway, Lost Like Lions, Fear of Letting Go EP. This is gonna be a killer show, man. You got Karma Queen on this show. Tuesday night is on the show. Here's what we gotta go to the show. What is it? Saturday at Rec Room. You got to come with me because you got questions about what you can bring to Music is Art, and the person to ask will be at this show on Saturday. So you come with me to the show. You talk to Sarah. She'll tell you what you need to bring.
Okay,
Sounds
I will
like a
go.
plan. And then you get to see Karma Queen and feel bad about being a musician because you'll never be as good as they are. But Lost Like Lions, Fear of Letting Go EP releases this Friday, and you can stream that everywhere as of Friday. This coming Friday, and they're playing Saturday. So the EP I think comes out Friday. I think I'm correct in that, but the show is Saturday at the Rec Room. It is at 6 p.m. and I have no other information as far as ticket prices, ages, anything like that. But this is Lost Like Lions, and I do believe this is off the new EP, and this song is called Conversation on All WNY. ThinkSoJoE show. We'll see you next week.
For the sake of conversation, why am I so bad at communication? Whoa, I'll never know. Whoa, I'll never know why I get so high. And sometimes I can't be myself. And all night, fist fight between my heart and my soul. All I need is a warm vacation, some longer nights and strong medication. Whoa, I'll never know. Whoa, I'll never know why I get so high. And sometimes I can't be myself. And all night, fist fight between my heart and my soul. And I don't think I'll ever let you go. And I don't think I'll ever let you know. And I don't think I'll ever let you go. And you go, you go, you go. Wide eyes, you're so high, and sometimes I can't be myself. And all night, fist fight between my heart and my soul. And I don't think I'll ever let you go. And I don't think I'll ever let you know. And I don't think I'll ever let you go. You go.